Hello, it's lovely to see you here. I know this isn't a live broadcast, but energy is everywhere and it knows no time. So before starting this meeting, I set the clear intention to connect with everybody that watches this video. And if you're one of those people, then we are connecting. Today, I wanted to talk a bit to unity, because as we're all realizing, there's a lot of challenge going on in the world at the moment in terms of relationships between people, between races. And what I wanted to do today was hopefully give you a perspective that might give you a bit of clarity, peace, deeper understanding, and perhaps a less of a feeling of hopelessness around the whole situation. And I wanted to do that by talking to you a bit about being a light worker. Now, if you've not heard that phrase before, it's a term that's often given to people who work with energy healers like myself and others who work in this spectrum. But what I wanted to point out today was that every single one of us is a light worker. Every single one of us came into this experience as spirit. We chose a physical human experience. And in that process, we chose our families, we chose our environments, and we chose the time that we would come into this experience. And we did all of those things very carefully in order to learn different things for our soul's evolution. And because each and every one of us did this consciously, every single one of us has something to offer this experience right now. So to those of you that might feel unimportant or insignificant, I wish to let you know that you are extremely important. But there is nothing that you need to be or do in order to prove your importance. Simply by being present in the world, you are offering your unique perspective to those around you. You don't have to offer lots of opinions and thoughts about what you see as truth or untruth. It is more about just the way that you are, the way that you hold yourself, the way that you interact with a room, the space around you. We have no idea most of the time the impact that we have on those around us. I'm in a fortunate position with my clients. They come and see me and they'll tell me perhaps weeks later about a session that we had a month ago, which meant a lot to them for reasons that I had no idea about at the time. I've had friends and family say to me, oh, that time you did that, yeah, it really made me think of X, Y, Z. And the truth is, we're all doing that all the time, because each of us has our own set of experiences, and because of that, our own perspective on the world and how to be in the world. And the reason that I want to talk to that is because there are lots of people right now with light shining on them that may not be seemingly doing things that we would feel were the right things to do. There are people out there that are causing great division in the world. But as I said, every single spirit chose to come into this experience and be a certain way, do certain things. And as humanity is part of this earth-based experience, we energetically work in union with the planet, with Mother Earth, with the energy that is the world that we live on. And the world, like us, is going through a real shift at the moment, this energetic transition that we are moving through into the age of Aquarius, which you may or may not know about, but is essentially a lighter form of energy. And as a collective, as a global collective, we are shifting from an energy that is fear-based, heavy, controlling, into a space which is much more light and supporting and more inclined to well-being. And what we've been experiencing since the beginning of 2020 is this shift. COVID was a big physical manifestation of that experience. And through this shift, what we're observing is a lot of shadows, a lot of dark energy is being pulled up to the surface. And this is happening for a very important reason. It's so that we as a collective might see our dark side and heal it. And with COVID, we saw a lot of fear, we saw a lot of division, we saw a lot of doubt in the structures that are meant to guide us. And in that process, we were forced to look within ourselves to find a truth that worked for us, to find a way of being that worked for us. And now COVID continues, and yet there's all these other layers being attached to the collective experience that are bringing up divisions between our races, between our cultures, and it's doing all of this in order that we might find a better way. So just bringing into your awareness that even a person who seems to be so opposed to your beliefs in humanity or in being can still be playing a role that is needed on some level. It's an exciting time to be alive. We have chosen well, in my personal opinion. But we are going to live in a time, we are living in a time which is going to result in us living in a world that holds new ideals that are built on a level of respect for those around us, which will inevitably start to echo the respect that we hold for ourselves. And today I wanted to share a practice with you that might enable all of us to contribute to this growth that we're seeing, a practice that will create manifestation in a way that will bring about more unity, and in the process hopefully give you a greater understanding of how you can use manifestation to serve you. So the practice that I want to share with you today is actually about using what I call our sacred imagination. And I call it sacred because our mind is so powerful. It's our mind that creates our experience. And when you think about it, every desire that you have initially starts off as a mental picture. For example, the lunch that you might want to have, you start picturing it before you make it. The car you might want to buy and drive one day, you start picturing before you are able to or purchase it. Whatever it is that we want, we picture our days, we picture the next half an hour, we picture our reality all the time before it comes into our existence. And when we do that, we create an emotional reaction to it. And it's that emotional reaction that dictates what we actually receive. Now, I'm not going to go into a workshop on manifestation, not here and now. But what I want to do today is share a practice with you that helps us as a collective start to call in this new way of being, this new energetic way of living in harmony with one another that we so need in this world. And I call upon each of you as light workers to join me. So creating a space that is nice and comfortable, with your back supported and your head free. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes. And just take your awareness to your breath. And the gentle rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. I invite you now to relax your tummy, to soften your shoulders, to extend your inhale and to extend your exhale. And take a pause now between each breath. Just allowing your body to feel nice and relaxed. Giving yourself permission to soften into this space. Just allowing your breath to find its natural rhythm as it supports you through this practice. I ask you now to tune in with your sacred imagination. I ask you to vision a world where every human sees fellow humans as friends, good friends. Where colour and race are not found important. Where the way that each of us as individuals holds ourselves in the world is what is valued. A world where you can step outside of your home and talk easily to complete strangers. Where there is trust, a deep, knowing trust that fills the air. A world where community is synonymous with everyday life. Where people gather together, not simply because they know each other, but because they might just be drawn to. Where a stranger is simply a friend you've not yet met. Where one person can ask for help and all those that live around them will group together to support them with ease and with joy. Where there's a deep belief that one person's happiness is a reflection of the happiness of the group around which they live. Where women gather together and look after their children, support one another through the birthing process. Where men join those women easily and with joy, and where men gather together in their own time to do things that are meaningful for them. Where we recognize the masculine and the feminine, and we see how they interweave with ease and joy. Where we are all just citizens of the globe. And we remember times when the world was not this way. But we live in a state of knowing that necessary things occurred in order for us as a collective to move into a space which enabled so much companionship, support, friendship, community, happiness. Where children are taught about how to work with their energy at school, where compassion and empathy are values that we strive towards as individuals, where balance is a way of life, health, well-being, patience, and support are characteristics that come to each of us easily. Imagine a world where you woke up every day and you were predisposed to feeling good, predisposed to feeling at ease, where you received good news every day, where you learned about new and wonderful things being created and designed to support a community, a global community, where you can go anywhere in the world and be welcomed with open arms. Where your belongings are always safe and respected. Where people who need help are given it freely. Prisons and jails no longer exist. It is recognized that those that struggle in that way need help, healing, and support, and are offered those things. Where confinement and solitary behaviors imposed upon others are no longer accepted. A world that is filled with love for one another and for each other. And as you imagine this place, I invite you to imagine yourself looking at yourself in the mirror one day in the future and saying to yourself, that time in 2020, it was challenging, but I wouldn't change it for the world, because the life that we all lead now is so much richer. Maybe taking a big sigh and smiling at yourself in contentment. When you are ready, just bringing yourself back into your environment, your body. Gently moving your toes and your fingers. And when you are ready, just opening your eyes. And so, recognizing that you may not have lined up with everything I suggested, and that's okay. The purpose of the practice was to imagine a world that is in harmony. And when we do this, we put ourselves in a space which lines up with it. And when we do that, we create energy and we put it towards something that we believe in. And it enables us to attract it. So what we did there as a group was start manifesting the world that is to come. And so if you want to contribute to world peace, simply use your sacred imagination to start creating that place and calling it in so that we can all enjoy it together. I hope that you've enjoyed this experience and that it's taught you something. And I hope the purring of my cat didn't disturb you. She's friendly. But I will be doing another video in the next week, and I will send that through to you. If there's any topics you would like me to cover, then please let me know. Just send me a short message and I'd be more than happy to incorporate them going forward. Wishing you all much love and light. Blessings to you all, sweet soul family. Bye-bye.